Welcome to Adventures in Being Foreign. In this video we're going to do some baking. I'm making some super soft chocolate cupcakes, and these are the ingredients. We have our dry ingredients here. There's the flour and the cocoa powder, and then the two types of sugar, brown and white sugar. And then we have the 2 teaspoons with baking soda and baking powder, some salt, and then some vanilla essence, some butter melted, and some buttermilk, 2 large eggs, and our cooking utensils. So that's just about it. And in the next steps, I'll just be mixing the ingredients together. First, we'll start with mixing the dry ingredients separately, and then after that, we will mix the wet ingredients and then mix everything together. So yes, here is how you make super soft chocolate cupcakes. So I'll start with just having my bowl, which I will just pick up now. So then, that being said, this is going to be for the wet ingredients, so I'll just put this to the side. I'll take this bowl for the dry ingredients. So I'll start and just mix my flour. I'm going to put the measurements in the description box for your reference, and then mix it with the cocoa, mixing it with German pronunciation, and then our baking soda and baking powder. I'm also gonna add some salt. So then I've actually just added the salt. I did that separately. So the salt has been added, and then we'll just mix everything together. Simple mixing to make sure everything is mixed well. By the way, what do you like to bake? Are you a baker? Is it something that you like to do, or is it just something that you would rather live for somebody else? You're more the person who likes to eat once the food is ready. So that looks well mixed. But I'm just wondering, comment down below what you like to bake or what you like to eat that are baked goodies. I want to hear from you guys for sure. So I'm gonna set that aside, and then we'll mix the sugar and the other wet ingredients. So then we have our next bowl, have our white sugar, and then we add some brown sugar, lots of sugar, and our butter. The recipe also mentioned you can use like vegetable oil, but I prefer to use butter, some melted butter, and then our vanilla essence as well. Gonna mix that too. But wait a moment, I'm just going to break the eggs as well. Those are 2 large eggs broken into the bowl. I'll just first mix with a fork, just to have it at least everything sort of together. We're going to add the buttermilk separately. When we mix the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, we'll also add the buttermilk. Doesn't look so nice, but I'm sure it will taste yummy when it's all mixed together. And I think that's always the point, like you never really eat anything separately, except for the eggs. But once everything is like together in a great mixture, it tastes super yummy. So I'll just do a bit more of this as well. So I think that's well mixed. And I can set that aside as well. So then we have our wet ingredients, sugar plus eggs, and some butter, some melted butter, and then we have the cocoa powder and the flour together with the baking soda, baking powder, and then finally we have our buttermilk. It's quite thick. So yes, so then I'll start first by adding just a small portion of this mixture into the dry mixture, and then adding half of the buttermilk, and then again half of this in that, and the remaining part of the buttermilk. So that's the ingredients together. We'll just start mixing. So I already made some chocolate cupcakes before for my husband's birthday, but I'm making them again because they were super nice. The last time I did it, I used this cocoa drink powder. So they were not as dark chocolatey. So I'm really curious how these will turn out. So I think they will turn out super yummy as well. So that's the mixture being poured out. Okay, I'm gonna use my spatula just to scrape out everything as well. So now just put that aside. Use my spatula. So I'm not so sure if it's called a spatula actually, but I used that flat thing. And then I'm going to add the remaining buttermilk. And it's quite sticky already, but I'll just mix that together to make it really uniform across. I'll do that and then continue the recording. So I cleared everything a bit. I mixed everything, all the ingredients together, and it looks super nice, and it's not too runny either. It's really a good consistency, and it looks really nice and chocolatey. If you have baked them with proper chocolate, props to you. I prefer using the cocoa powder. It's just much easier. And then I also have these, it's in German, but these paper thingies for the cupcakes. And yes, let's just make sure that they are well formed and stuff like that. So I'm gonna add these into my baking things. I already greased them with some butter, but I'm still gonna add these on top as well, just to have good nice shape. If only they'll look like this once they're done. We'll see. They're all ready, and we're gonna put them into the oven. I already preheated my oven. I think I already preheated my oven when I was starting. So now we'll just pop them into the oven. I think that's high enough. We need to bake them for, I think, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the heat. Mine is at, I think it's about, I guess 180. Maybe I could just make it a bit higher. But yeah, so let's wait and see. Just gonna move it out a bit and then poke it with a toothpick just to see. Okay, I think they're ready. Some of that are a bit smaller, but overall, okay, great. I still have some extra butter, so I think it definitely makes more than 12. So I'm gonna bake another batch. So hard, you know? So hard to pull them out. I want them to fall out from the other side. Oh, struggle. There's the first, second. I'm also gonna let them cool down. I have a baking thing that I'm just gonna get now. So look at that, they look good. And I'm not leaving them like this. We're gonna also make the topping in a few minutes, but first I'll add the next batch. I'll just take these out and put in the next batch, and then we'll start the coating for the topping. So I can make 3 extras. It's empty. I remember when I was a younger kid. Well, when I was a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. I used to lick the bowl completely, which I will do later as well. So I said these are super soft muffins or cupcakes, whatever you want to call them. And I'm gonna show you just how soft they are. They're a bit on the smaller size, but they are super soft. Look at that. It's like a sponge as well. The inside is scrumptious. The outside is a bit crunchy, but a very super soft inside. It's really like a sponge. Look at that texture. Super yummy. And when we have the topping, it's gonna be even yummier. So that's the next part. So now we have our ingredients ready for the buttercream topping. Butter, of course, about 250 grams. Then our cocoa powder, our pudatsuka, powdered sugar. This is also known as confectioner's sugar and yeah, powdered sugar in general. It's important to not use granulated sugar because that would just not work. And so this is really powder. We have our milk as well and our vanilla essence. And my Kenwood, which my grandma bought for me. That makes it super easy to do it, does it for you. So let's get going. So we start with the butter first. Just put it in the mixer. It's important that it's at room temperature. Shouldn't be from the fridge, straight out of the fridge, otherwise it just won't work. So it's gonna be a bit noisy. So we'll start at a faster speed. So since it was getting stuck to the mixing tool, I just using the spatula to get it off so I can mix better. It's not so easy. It's quite soft and it sticks easily onto the tool. But yes, I'll just continue with that, trying to get it off so that it's in the bowl. That's a bit better. So now that the butter is more or less fluffy, we can start adding the powdered sugar bit by bit in 3 parts. What I really like about Kenwood is that it has this opening at the top, so I can already switch on the machine, can switch it on and then add the butter, add the powdered sugar as it's mixing still. super soft and fluffy. Look at that. It's nice and soft and fluffy for the topping. So we can finally decorate. I have this tool that I use for decorating my cupcakes. I know that some people have these plastic ones, which I think are better because you can get the shapes easier. This is like a metal and it's not so, yeah, you cannot really, the shape is not so flexible. But yes, so I'm gonna do one and I'll do the rest, and that will be it for today. So there's the finished product. I just decided to make all of them. I'm not perfect at making the icing. As you can see, it's still a work in progress. But yes, that's how you make super soft chocolate cupcakes with a chocolate buttercup topping. I'm gonna also add some like chocolate sprinkles on them. I'm gonna have to buy them tomorrow. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share. I'm now going to clean this mess. Bye for now.